Tom Fury's here in news. I'll do a little thought experiment with you guys. Applying today's standards, I suppose. But remembering the climate as well, that um, I'm going to use the term white people in this, and that doesn't mean that I'm one of those people that are hiding some kind of white supremacy or hidden racism. It's actually okay to say white people, but also especially for a thought experiment like this. So, um, yeah, you can say Indian people, black people, whatever else, but for some reason you can't say white people. So, but I actually think I need to use white people for this experiment for it to have the most effect in today's climate. So, if you look at the demographics of the planet, how they roughly are, white people were kind of in a minority, and they're actually in a reasonably contained area. And although there's obviously a massive disparagement in wealth, if white people were to both internally in countries like America and externally, if they were both migrating out towards other countries, and if they were, if a percentage of them were hell bent on causing destruction, and all the information came up that we found about other people that that we say religion, say Christianity required us to keep conquering places or whatever else. People found that out about us. Do you think that might raise alarm bells with all the rest of the world? How do you think the rest of the world would be reacting right now? How do you think those countries would have reacted internally to white people rising up and doing any of that? How do you think the international community would have reacted to white people rising up and doing any of that before it even got started? You know, it wouldn't have got started. It would have been called out for what it was. Our need to be empathetic has got to the point of pathetic. It doesn't make you a good person to be all empathy and no brains, and that is the society that some people are trying to live in, where they think it's all feelings, all empathy. And you can have empathy for someone, but if you don't have equal common sense and restraint, then you end up dead or getting someone else hurt. It's the same reason why if you see someone laid out outside a pub, if you're going to help them, you approach them with equal sense empathy, equal sense caution. They could be dangerous. It's the same thing. But people don't think like that. They're all empathy because it's empathy on other people's money, it's empathy on other people's time, it's empathy on other people's doorsteps when it comes down to it, which is what's happened around the world with the migrants. And the Bondi Beach killings. So they're going to be covered to death. So all I'm going to say is, from what I see, it's the same cyclical event about to start again that we see in every single one of these cases. And bearing in mind recently, in the last couple of years, it's barely time between murders to truly assess things. So it's getting harder to assess things because there is less and less gap between murders and attacks, especially globally now. But what you see on social media, and this is what's scary, both on social media and legacy media, before those bodies are cold, before anybody has a chance to do anything, before anybody has a chance to objectively look at the situation and call it out for what it is, you've got a wave of people on both MSM and social media coming out and defending Muslims, and nobody's even attacked them, and the emphasis should be on the victims. And I'll say this again because I've said it before. Once upon a time, we had attacks like Michael Ryan and stuff like that. The country would come to a halt. Sorry, if something major, like when the World Trade Center came down, the world kind of came to a halt. These were big events. We're now more desensitized to them, but also the media always buries them. I mean, in Britain for the longest time, they weren't allowed to say terrorists. European Union asked them to stop saying terrorists around 2016, which is why a lot of them never called that by the mainstream media, even up to today, although they have loosened up a little bit with that. But what happens is these people come out and they invite people on these shows who they know are Muslim apologists. They know these people are insincere because they come from debates and that where they're proven to be insincere, and they have them on these news shows probably to get views and to get a good argument going. And then they'll have someone like Douglas Murray who will be absolutely disgusted because the other person is just hell-bent on blaming everything but the people doing it. And that's the thing, is that when a lot of these Muslims are put in the position of being able to say, yeah, these people are disgusting, they won't do it. They won't do it because they are part of the Muslim Brotherhood, and therefore they will not slag off their fellow man. And this is how, if you ever want to see why people are worried about moderate Muslims, and that is because they often support and certainly wouldn't go against their brethren. So as a result, they will aid and abet in these attacks if forced to, without revealing anything. And while they may not seek it out themselves, they will certainly hide it for other people. And they condone it, and they will not speak against it. And part of that is fear as well, because the fear of the other people in their culture, because their culture will come down hard on that kind of thing, especially as it has no central power. So it kind of keeps making the rules up as it goes along, or reinterpreting the rules as it goes along, more and more back to their literal interpretations. Anyway, so they've done another famous area, from bearing in mind the things that Islam have done in the last God knows how many years, but from blowing up things like Roman triumphal arcs, which to me is a crime upon crimes. It really is, to the heinous crimes they've committed against, just people. And these are all different sections of Islam we face now, ISIS and other militant sections, but there's a lot of them, and we keep facing different unknown, supposedly lone Islamists and all kinds of people like it. And then there's the migrant problem on top of that, which, a lot of them turn out to be Islamists anyway, And the only thing about the international community is it does seem to be more willing to call out a terrorist, but nobody's learning anything, because it's rinse, wash, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat, because we're allowing the same thing to happen again, and our mainstream media is doing it again, and that is, before the bodies get cold of the victims, we used to really worry about the victims, we used to worry about the stuff. No, straight into before they even consider questioning Islam, considering it does keep coming up, considering if it was a bunch of Christians out there bombing and shooting at people, the whole world would be asking what the hell was going on. They would be. Everybody knows this. It's not something people need to sit and go, would they? They would. Like, the idea of protecting people from racism has turned into accidentally protecting a religious ideology from conquering by terror and war. And so we stand around like NPCs waiting to be killed in some game. Whilst these people are armed, trained, ready, it's absolutely ridiculous. Um, and I don't want to hear anybody talking about mental health issues or anything else. At the end of all this, when all the inquiries and everything else have been done, because they're all done in the same name, all done by similar people. The West has done this to itself. It's allowed these people. It's allowed Hannibal through the gates, um, willingly, and somehow it's got to get him back out, um, which is not going to be easy. But we need to be stopping and taking note of these times, not getting desensitized to them. These people instantly try and politicize them, instantly try and turn them into um, attempts to defend Muslims at times when perhaps they should just shut up and be quiet. I mean, that's normally the what used to be the done thing would be for that particular group of people to just shut up. If they can't issue an apology, which they never do, then just shut up, and let the other people deal with the grief and everything else. But no, no, they have to come out in force. They have to come out in force to defend it. Um, it's disgusting, and the media, again, the media are the culprits in all this because they allow them to do it. They bring them on deliberately. They know who they're asking on. You look at the people in today's news. Look at the people in the news, and then look at what work they've done, and you'll see that a lot of them have been debating on stage, and a lot of them, when you look at some of their debate, they're scumbags. They're real scumbags. So this is the people that they are inviting on to. This is the best, according to them, that they can find to come on and represent that religion. It doesn't say much. So yeah, and just remember, no matter who was shot, who was not, that's an event that changes people's lives forever. Everybody who's there. Um, and this is the thing, and these people know it. These people know it, and for whatever reason, I've been watching this go on for at least, I don't know, regular attacks like this. We've been watching regularly for 10 years now, but it feels like more like 25 that I've been watching stuff happen that's particularly to do with the religion and peace. Um, the media needs to be brought under control. The free press is a good thing, but it's not free. It's either government controlled or it's choosing to be misleading, and it needs to be brought under control, or liberated, whichever way you want to look at it. But um, they are they are at the center of all this, because whatever you say, a lot of our information still comes from the media, whether we like it or not. A lot of it still, a lot of other people's opinions still revolve around the media. And while the media keep turning it into this circus of they know exactly how to deal with it now. Invite Muslims on the show straight away, who can not even condone the attacks. Not even condemn the attacks. They won't even condemn the attacks. They go straight into, oh, we've faced attacks and it's nothing to do with our community and all this shit. And it's just like, just remember, as annoying as these people are, they've been asked to be on there. And the people on these news programs know exactly what they're doing. Until we get all this stopped, like, nobody's gonna really take it seriously, because we're always considered not conspiracy theorists. People are more and more seeing that something's going on, but they're still fighting in their head against the news, because the news will just keep defending these people. No matter what they do, they will keep defending them before they've even really let you know much about the victims. They're defending these people. Ask yourself why, but also ask yourself what we can do to change this. I think we need to keep growing people's belief in channels like ours, but that also means keep shooting straight ourselves, not ever mislead people. And that's why it annoys me when people like that do mislead, because you only get people's trust once, and yeah, you shouldn't mess with it. So, you know, I mean, I know I've only got a little channel at the moment again, but it's up to us to try and keep telling the world what's going on here, because our Prime Minister is absolutely nuts. And when we're looking at what stuff that's going on in the rest of the world, you know, we've seen it, we know what it means, we know where it comes from, and yeah, it's a worldwide threat now. And why is the world not doing what it perhaps shouldn't have done back in George Bush's time? And that's declaring war on the world of Islam, to be honest, because it's kind of time. It's kind of time. Anyway, or you know, that's me throwing ideas out there without properly thinking them out. That I've come up with much more detailed ideas before. For me, it would start with shutting borders completely, fixing messes internally, stop the expending on countries that when we can't even afford to run our own. Look after our own. You could be charitable. Just think of it like your own money. You can be charitable when you've got money. When you haven't got money, you've got to tighten your purse strings. It's exactly how countries used to operate. And same as they would act with migration. They would allow it when they needed a workforce. They would disallow it when they didn't. It was done all the time. Nobody thought it was any discrimination. It was just common sense. And what is also would be common sense would be, if there's a country that you're not prepared to fly to, or your government won't let you fly to because they're considered dangerous, you should not bring or allow people to come from there to here to live their lives, especially unchecked. And this is what's going on in all these places. But anyway, sorry, and I'm getting off the track, and I'm sort of politicizing it in my own way, and I don't mean to. I didn't really want to address it. Like I say, everybody's going to do a news story on it. I just feel for me, it's more about the desensitization and about the fact that the victims get disrespected again, in favor of a bit of drama, some Muslim apologists, and move on to the next attack, which will be imminent, guys. Which will be imminent. Make closer we get to Christmas, higher threat now. It's the same thing happened last year and the year before. Last year I said this year was going to be like this. So in the next few weeks, look for some more serious attacks coming up. Unfortunately, I don't think they can be stopped. So anyway, Tom Fury's here in use. Calling it a day for now.